Welcome back to World Crisis Radio, your Master headquarters. Webster Tarpley here in Washington, D.C. We just have a couple of more minutes with Pilar Bazelga. The very interesting blog is called No Morir Idiota, Don't Die a Fool. Take a look at it. It's in Spanish, but you can just click the thing, the bobblefish or whatever it is will translate it for you, and that seems to work pretty well. Now, Pilar, you were just mentioning the guy that you've essentially identified as at least being one of the leading ideologues of this, Enrique Dans. Can you just give us that rundown?
Yes. So this professor has studied at Harvard, and he probably has inherited the very great school of Edward Bernays that I hope everybody knows. And if you don't know, please see the video called "The Century of the Self." And then in the YouTube, you can see who was this guy. Bernays is the creator of what is called the social engineering, which is how to manipulate the mass through. He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud. He was a very, very smart guy, and he knew how to do it. So this social engineering then was developed by the Rockefeller Foundation in Harvard, and they have been doing very well. I mean, they do a very good job. It's really, people think that we live in democracy, and it's not true, and that our elections have a meaning, and it's not true, because afterwards, those who are running the world are others that you never know who they are. Well, this is an idea of Edward Bernays, and this guy probably, he has here an office, a company, and he is working professionally in this. I mean, he creates the market for a client, and apparently the client of these guys, in this case of the Indignados movement, is the extreme right. I mean, and the very extreme right. I mean, fascist and neo-Frankists, neo-fascists, anarcho-capitalists. And what is this? For those who don't know what is anarcho-capitalism is, we destroy the state because the only thing important is freedom of money. This is the idea. Money has to be free, the market has to be free, and no control at all. So we don't need, of course, politicians have to be corrupt. Better to have corrupt politicians than good politicians. That's why you have Berlusconi, for example, who is a very famous corrupt, and he's there for ages because he's helped out all these people, I mean. So I don't know.
Okay, so this is Enrique Dans. I guess we have to wrap up now. Pilar, this is extremely valuable. And again, I guess people can go to your website, the No Morir Idiota. If you see these characters in Occupy Wall Street, and if they are these Spanish indignados, look them up on No Morir Idiota, and maybe we can identify some of them, and we'll know what their track record was in Madrid. So that's No Morir Idiota, and it's Pilar Bazelga, and we want to thank you very much.
They will see on the right-hand side of the most popular posts. The first one is the one where I explain, I take the pictures, I show how it is a military camp, how you have an infrastructure, and where they can find the photos of these people who were here, these famous facilitators who were really working there from 10 to 10. It was really amazing how the energy. I went to some of them, I said, I hope they are paying you well because you do a very good job, I said to them.
Exactly. And again, I think rather this interview has come from me a classic line that some of these people are that they Occupy Wall Street or the Indignados, a soap opera for zombies who think they are making a revolution.
Of course.
And we want to thank you for that. And please keep in touch. We want to get some updates. And again, what we're trying to do is to figure out the connection, because it was Spanish Indignados who came in at the creation of the Occupy Wall Street.
The first place where it was done, it is in Greece. Then it was done in Egypt. Okay?
Okay.
And the movement in Egypt was to invade Libya. It's all related. It's the same movement. Right. It's using the Facebook and the webs to manipulate people. Okay.
Okay, do you have any names on the Greek side? I would just be fascinated to trace it back even further, because it is, as you say, a counterinsurgency strategy designed to abort the tremendous potential of these movements, that they don't go revolutionary, they never get a program, they never get an independent organization, they don't produce any leaders, and then it's all over.
And then they infiltrate inside some very violent people, so that the movement that starts as a pacific movement becomes very aggressive, like violent, like in London, like in England, and I don't know, in Manchester was that it was so in England, so violent, so that this justifies the repression of the police. You understand? It's very stupid. It's always the same thing. You know, when you read the history and you know history, when you have the French Revolution, then afterwards you have the dictatorship of Napoleon. Can you understand this? How can you explain that after a revolution you have a dictatorship? Well, this is what is going to happen now. It's a movement. It's a cycle movement that goes revolution, dictatorship, false democracy. It starts again. Revolution, dictatorship, false democracy. Okay? So now we are at the end of the false democracy. We start the revolution, and we are going towards a dictatorship.
Well, let's see if we can't hijack the hijackers. Let's culture jam the culture jammers. Let's détourner them all.
Because in the time of Napoleon,
thank you, Pilar. We got to push on. We got to get a report on primary Obama now. Thank you very much. I hope we keep in touch. Okay, now. Shifting gears, I don't know where we stand, but if we have a guest, I'm not sure. Okay, let's give Phil Berg a couple of minutes. Let's go directly to Phil Berg. We haven't had him in a couple of weeks in the press of the mass strike, but we always want to keep up with events on the Obama front. Phil, we just have a couple of minutes. Please take it away.
Well, we're still trying. We haven't given up on Obama, who's a fraud. He's a phony. This is the biggest hoax against the United States of America. I guess you have read about it, but maybe your listeners haven't. There is a bill being introduced in Congress to seal all presidential records after the person leaves office, and this is so no one can go after Obama. It's outrageous. Everyone knows he's a fraud. We're still working on several things here. I'm working on trying to have a huge reward. It's not through yet, and we're working on our book. We haven't given up. Visit our website, obamacrimes.com. You get all the information. It's outrageous what's going on, and we're doing everything in our power to bring this to a head. And if we can't get him out now, we're going to do everything we can in challenging his various nomination petitions that he's filing in various states. So it's crucial that everyone read up on this, because he's taking away our rights. So obamacrimes.com. Pleasure speaking with you.
I'm sorry, Phil. We have to push on now. We had our Spanish commentator went over a little bit over, but to come back now, we want to know the timetable on that book, because that's the next step in the chain, I think. Thank you so much,
very good.
Phil. And we'll be back in just a minute on World Crisis Radio, your Mass Strike headquarters.